Hey guys, how's it going? Today we are going to talk about spies and the 4 different rules you're going to need to be one. The first rule, you have to be a boss with your Wii remote at your house. The second rule, you gotta have some epic sunglasses. It'll make your opponent all intimidated. The third rule is you gotta have a pretty cool British accent, because that really helps out in making it come to life. And the fourth rule that some of you guys may not think of is you gotta know how to factor. Spies need to know how to factor. It is the lifeline. Just last week, something happened to me where factoring was the only way I could get out. Let me show you what happened.
Okay, so that's me. I'm running from this evil guy and trying to break through this fence right about now. This is the evil guy. His name is the Vacationer. He takes off too much free time during the year, and he steals vacation time from others. Kind of a jerk, if you know what I'm saying.
Middle of it, scream. Oh, dang it! I ran to the.
I'm gonna get you!
Okay, so I'm at the factoring palace. Everything has to open by solving a factoring problem. As we can see, this first problem is 36x to the 6th, y to the 3rd, minus 6x to the 4th, y to the 2nd. We have to use the normal GCF method. Okay, come on. Alright, let's solve this. Alright, so the first thing we're going to solve is by using the normal GCF method. It is 36x to the 6th, y to the 3rd, minus 6x to the 4th, y to the 2nd. The first thing you're always going to want to do is put the problem in parentheses to simply start off. And then you're going to want to look specifically towards the x's, because they're the first things you should start off with. And you're going to look at both of these x's and you're going to say, what is common between them? They both have exponents, but what common number can we take away so that they both aren't negative, but we take away as much as we can from each one? So if we took away 4 from 4, of course this would just be simply nothing because we took all the stuff away, and if we took 4 away from 6 it would be 2. But we did take as much as we could away from this x, so it works. So right, the most we could take away from both of them is x to the 4th. So we're going to move this over here to this side, and we're going to see that we took away x to the 4th from x to the 6th, and we got this right down here. So rewrite your equation based on what you took away. And we see that the x is missing over here because we took all the x's away. Now the next thing we're going to look at is y. What's the greatest common thing we can take off between y's? Well, we know that the lowest y value is y to the 2nd. So that would mean the most we could possibly take away from both of the y's is y to the 2nd, right? Right. Because that leaves this y with just a y, and this cancels this y completely out. So then we put the y to the 2nd over here with the x to the 4th. Then we rewrite the equation with everything left over. 36x to the 2nd y minus 6. The next thing you're going to want to focus on is the actual numbers of the equation, 36 and 6. Now you're going to say, what's in common between these? And in these you're looking for greatest common factors. What's the greatest common factor between 36 and 6? Well, it's 6 because both numbers are divisible by 6. Then you're going to want to slap a 6 on right next to that x and to that y, leaving you with 6x to the 4th, y to the 2nd. And also, in parentheses, we're left with 6 because we know 36 divided by 6 is 6, x to the 2nd, y minus 1 because 6 divided by 6 is 1. And that's your answer right there. If you want to double check, however, all you have to do is simply dive bomb this over to this, multiplying them together to get that. Fantastic. Awesome. We solved it. We got the answer! This door needs an answer. Well, here's your answer. I cannot get my sunglasses wet. That would be a crime of the century. No. Alright. They're safe. Let's jump in.
Whoa! Can't get my hat wet. Oh my gosh.
Safety goggles! Guys, there's a problem on this noodle! 16x squared plus 47x minus 3! Let's solve it! Alright, now we're going to solve this problem. We have 16x squared plus 47x minus 3, and we have to use the x method. Alright, so the first step is we're going to rewrite the equation. 16x squared plus 47x minus 3. The next step you're going to do is you're going to draw an x. And these numbers are probably going to look pretty weird, but I'm about to explain what each of them are. So, where's my pen? There it is. This is 16 and this 1. Well, you probably noticed that 1 times 16 is 16, and x times x is x squared. So, basically what goes on this side are things that are factors of 16, things that multiply together to equal 16. Same thing on this side, negative 1 times 3 is negative 3 also. So things on this side must equal this side. Now this x, what does it mean? Well, we see 16's up here on this line and 3's on this line. That means you multiply them together. So we get 48x by multiplying these two together. By multiplying 1x and negative 1, we get negative 1x. So that's all fine and dandy, but what exactly do we do next? Well, we want to combine both of these together to equal our middle number. So once again, this added or subtracted to this has to equal this guy right here. So let's check to see if we are. We said the first one was 48x. We said the second one was negative 1x. 48x minus 1x is 47x. There we have it, right there, 47x. So now we have another diagram, which is the same one as the one above, but it has circles on it. Because circles, well, they're ovals, but whatever. Ovals are fun too. So 16x minus 1. This is our first group. 1x plus 3. We assume there's a plus because this is positive. This is the second group. Basically, all you have to do is put group 1 in parentheses and group 2 in parentheses, and there you have your factored answer. And that is how you solve it using the x method. Guys, we solved it! No, you don't! You scringy little villain, you! I'm gonna get you! My hat! Oh my gosh, my hat! I got you, baby! Come on, I'm gonna get you now! Woo! Okay. Oh no. Where's my escape vehicle? Where? Okay. Where's Dora when you need her to point things out for you? Is that what I think it is? Oh my god! It is escape vehicle! But there's a problem on it. It says 6x to the 4th plus 3x to the 3rd minus 8x to the 6th minus 2x to the 4th. Polynomial GCF method. I gotta solve this to get out of here, guys. Let's solve it. Alright. For this problem, 6x to the 4th plus 3x to the 3rd minus 8x to the 6th minus 2x to the 4th, we are going to be factoring using the polynomial GCF method. This is very similar to the normal GCF method, but you may notice that instead of just having the regular 2 terms, we have a full 4 terms this time.
Alright, so the first thing, as you might remember for the first one, is that you simply put the problem in parentheses, which I did right there. The second thing is you're going to want to divide it up in half. And you're probably noticing that right now, since we have 4 terms, we can split it evenly right up the middle. So that's what I did. We put 1 over here, which is 6x to the 4th plus 3x to the 3rd. And we put 1 all the way over here, which is 8x to the 6th minus 2x to the 4th. Keeping the minus sign in the middle for use later. Now we continue with our first step by finding the greatest common factor between the x's. We know we could take the greatest amount of x3 away, so we move it over to the left side of the parentheses. So now we have x to the 3rd, 6x plus 3. Now we look at 6 and 3. What's the greatest common thing we can take away from both of these guys? Well, that'd be 3. So we move 3 over to the left of the parentheses with the x. So we have 3x3 to the 3rd, 2x plus 1. Now let's head over to this side. We're going to do the same thing. What's the greatest thing we can take away between x to the 6th and x to the 4th? Well, that'd be x to the 4th, because that's as much as x to the 4th has. So we move x to the 4th over to the left of the parentheses on this one, and we're left with 8x squared minus 2. Well, what's the greatest thing we can take away between 8 and 2? Well, that'd be 2, because we know 2 divided by 2 is 1, and 8 divided by 2 is 4. So now we're left with 2x to the 4th, 4x squared minus 1. This is your answer right here, this whole lengthy equation, with the minus sign right here. And the reason this is your answer is because it cannot be simplified anymore. However, there is an alternative way to answer this. If, per se, our little friend on the right side also ended in a 2x plus 1, we could simplify it. Both the 2x plus 1s could combine to form one 2x plus 1. And now the negative 2x to the 4th here and the 3x to the 3rd here would be combined in one simple equation, 3x cubed minus 2x to the 4th. And then together it would be like this. And that is your alternative answer. But remember, you can only do this when this and this are the same. Remember, you can always check by diagonally one unto the other.
You're gonna take some time off.
We solved it, guys! Let's go! Catch me if you can, sucker! Ha-ha!
I got it.
Welcome to the Evil Missile Hotline. Please hold for an operator.
Bienvenidos a la mala línea directa de misil. Por favor, sostenga para un operador.
Thank you for holding. This is Napoleon.
It's me.